I would like to talk about how to avoid the one-note anger trap. Do you sometimes find yourself trapped in one-note acting, specifically when it has to do with anger? In this video, I will discuss the nuances and the complexities of anger and how to free yourself from the one-note anger trap. There is a point at one moment or another where every actor has to deal with the same challenge. The scene that you have to do calls for anger. The words on the page are giant, the stakes are high, the energy is warlike, so you raise your voice, you clench your fists and your teeth, and you push the lines with full-blown fury. But then when the dust settles and you see the director's face, something feels off. It's not that you didn't commit, it's that you played one note. And that's where the danger lies. So let's discuss what the one-note trap is. Anger is one of the most misunderstood emotions in acting. It's often treated as a singular state of being. It's huge, loud, explosive, but in truth, anger is much more layered than that, much deeper, and much more profound. If an actor plays anger as a singular emotion, it flattens out, and it can make a character feel like a caricature rather than a three-dimensional human being living in a specific circumstance. One-dimensional acting can be tiring and even annoying for the audience. So why does this happen to the actor? Actors often fall into this trap for several reasons. Number one, the fear of underplaying the scene. As the actor, you want to make sure that the emotion or that the stakes are communicated clearly. Number two, adrenaline. High stakes scenes can trigger real energy that unintentionally overpower the opportunity for more subtle nuances. Number three, cues that are written in the script. Sometimes the script has a description that's literally, quote unquote, he yells, or quote unquote, she's furious. Even worse than that, sometimes the lines are written in all caps with 50 million exclamation points. This type of thing can sometimes lead the actor into interpreting this moment as pure volume and yelling, and ultimately one-note rage acting. Number four, sometimes it's a bad habit. There's so much general movie anger out there, shouting, pacing, chewing the scenery, that some actors will copy the results without understanding their own way into the root of where their character has to be. All of this is to say that the truth is, real anger, truthful anger, is rarely just anger. And this leads me to my first point. Anger is a mask. Underneath anger, there's always something much deeper. Hurt, fear, disappointment, guilt, love, betrayal. When you just treat anger as an expression without considering the source, that's where the character can flatten out. Think about these few examples. Marlon Brando in Streetcar Named Desire. Stanley's rage is not just aggression. It's insecurity, paranoia, and loss of control. Adam Driver's performance in Marriage Story. The character of Charlie, his breakdown scene, and this is a testament to the performance that Adam Driver provides. It hits home because he's not just yelling. We can feel that his anger is rooted in grief as well as helplessness. Brian Cox in Succession, the character of Logan Roy, his fury is laced with the fear of being irrelevant, and we feel that vulnerability in every restrained glare that comes from his performance. Anger is not just reserved for men. Charlize Theron's performance in Monster, the character of Eileen's deeper motivations that are behind multiple violent murders that she commits, is a childhood that's overwhelmed by abandonment and sexual violence. In all of these great performances, every angry outburst carries a contradiction. What's being said versus what is underneath it. So here's how you can use the craft to discover more complexity in your character's anger. You can solve this by exploring layers. Here are a few practical tools for exploring anger and at the same time understanding the depth that's behind it. First step is to ask what's underneath it. Before you jump into the scene, ask yourself the question, what is fueling this anger for my character? Is it betrayal? Is it the fear of losing somebody? Is it shame? Ask yourself about the character's vulnerability. Once you pinpoint that vulnerability, your tone, your pace, and your intensity will be filled with something new, and automatically it will create variety in your delivery. The second thing to consider is letting go of the obvious idea. Anger doesn't always look angry. Sometimes it's ice cold, sometimes it's filled with silence, sometimes it's filled with laughter. A great example of this is Christopher Walken's performance in True Romance. It's a wonderful scene that he has with Dennis Hopper's character, and if you're not familiar with it, I would highly recommend you take a look at that. It's an example of a great actor who has played other dangerous, angry characters in the past, and one of the things that makes his performance so great is that he totally goes against the grain and goes away from the obvious thing, which is to play the guy as just angry. He laughs his way through the scene, and then he shoots Dennis Hopper's character in the head. The third thing to keep in mind is your listening. Listen. If you're in the character and you're in that high stakes moment, your listening will open you up to other possibilities. In scenes where there's a lot of anger, many actors stop listening completely because they're so focused on going to this result. But real anger in real life is reactive. It shifts and changes from moment to moment based on what is said and what is done by the other person in the scene. So staying present and letting your partner's words affect you will open you up to new possibilities every time. Another interesting thing to keep in mind is the aftermath. Consider the aftermath. In other words, what happens right after the anger gets released? It may very well be when the vulnerability can come pouring out of the character. Maybe it's guilt that comes out. Maybe it's exhaustion. These considerations can open you up to the complexity and to the layers that are underneath the anger. So, in conclusion, anger is not a volume knob. It's a symphony orchestra. When actors can explore the harmonies, the sorrow, fear, love, and all the vulnerability that lives underneath, their performances and those scenes that are filled with the character's anger become so much more compelling and unforgettable. Good luck with your journey of freeing yourself from the anger trap. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Click on the description below for links to our website and to learn more about the new Collective Acting Studio and our private coaching membership. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.